Bones from Broken Homes. This is a podcast for musicians and artists alike. My name is Mark.
And I'm Renegade.
And we're going to talk with folks about anything from new releases to tour stories.
The good, the bad, and the worst. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, so welcome to the Ragged Bones podcast. Here today we have some friendly folk. So who are you guys and what do you do?
So we're Kids on Fire. I'm Kevin. I play drums.
I'm Johnny. I play guitar.
I am Mikey. I play guitar and sing along with Johnny.
I guess I sing as well.
Like half the songs.
Sometimes.
So are you guys missing members or am I wrong?
We are missing Sid Rodriguez, our bass player.
Sid Sweetness.
Yeah, missing that.
Yeah.
That
The
loveliness. And we are missing our mercenary, Rachel, who may or may not be by shortly.
She might jump in halfway through, yeah.
How would you describe y'all's music?
I've had a couple. I mean, it's definitely pop punk-ish, but we've described it in different ways. A couple of periodically down the road. Street pop, because it's pop punk, but it's a little bit like, I don't know. I wouldn't say harder, but or heavier or anything like that. It's just
a little bit
more
street punk too.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more grit to it than
That's
pop
what's up, yeah.
and stuff.
There's a little bit of street punk mixed in with a little bit of oi.
My description that I give is usually a little bit longer. It's if you like songs about depression and anxiety, but with upbeat rhythm, you'll like us.
It's bummer core.
Bummer core. Cry into your beer core. That's one we've used.
I mean, the new album's appropriately named then. Songs in the key of bummer.
Yes.
You could call it tearcore.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm going to go cry in that pit hard tonight. Start cry pit.
So how long have you guys been active as Kids on Fire?
That's kind of a loaded question. I guess, technically, 2009?
2009-ish, yeah. Me and Johnny have been playing music together, since about 2005.
Yeah.
But 2009, 2010-ish, I'd say, was when we got together as Kids on Fire with the lineup at the time. But yeah, we started going under the name Kids on Fire probably around 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys were Rain City Swillers before that.
Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
The name came from it's one of those things. It's one of those things if you could. We've had the name long enough, and if you could change it at this point, I totally would, because it's not really funny anymore like it was back in 10 years ago. But
It seemed really clever.
it seemed very funny at the time.
Children on Kids on Fire.
So it's not funny.
But at the time, we got the name from it because we watched a documentary that come out a year or so before that, which is probably the scariest documentary I've ever seen in my life, which was Jesus Camp.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of
And it was about a bunch of Christian kids going to a Christian summer camp, and it was in an area of, I want to say Texas, maybe Tennessee, but it was somewhere called Devil's Lake, oddly enough. But it was
Texas,
was
I think.
Devil's Lake Seminary Christian Summer School.
Yikes.
Or Devil's Lake Kids on Fire Seminary Christian Summer Camp.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Stuff.
my
So they're
God, yeah.
Kids on Fire
Kids on
Seminary
Fire, wait a
Camp.
minute.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. They're like, that is hilarious. And plus, we're old as fuck, so Kids on Fire.
That's funny.
Well, you know,
So now, 10 years later, when we were hitting our late 20s, we just thought that was funny as shit. We're like, Kids on Fire, yeah. And now we're really old, so if I could change the name now, I would.
What's funny about it is since we have three out of four of us are gingers, the question I regularly get asked is are you guys called Kids on Fire? Because
Oh my
I totally thought about that. I thought about that too.
About that,
I get lumped in with these guys.
very, very strong
These
point of
guys.
intention.
Yeah.
Not a ginger.
Not a ginger, man.
we've got 2 brunettes in here that we're talking to, and one of them, 2 gingers and 1 brunette. So he's like, I'm not part of this crowd.
He's like
I'm a
ginger by
blonde.
proxy.
You didn't even. What am I,
Ginger
Jack
by
Liver?
proxy there.
By
No, I
being
was talking
around
about
it.
these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ginger by
Hey, you might not be
association.
ginger, but you're soulless like us.
Ginger by association.
Ginger by
Party Paul, who
mental.
played bass for us before Sid, he's also a ginger, more of a strawberry blonde. But yeah, because all
Still
We're
three
in
of
a
us.
weird mix of gingers in this band.
Yeah. Just people just assume that's why we're called Kids
I
on
can't
Fire.
fucking get away from them.
It's a
Sounds a
subject
little
you have to
bitter.
approach ginger.
And all of our merch,
Jesus Christ.
all of our
love
merch is
it.
orange now too.
all our
thing,
merch does that.
pretty much.
Well, and we
perfect.
have the new T-shirt that says "Soulless in Seattle." on it.
Yes.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
a Misfits logo with
Yeah,
freckles
we
and red hair. It's like,
Oh, that's
Nice.
so great. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Everybody loves it except for people in Seattle.
So what do you guys do outside of music? Let's start with you, Kim.
I work in an office at a print shop. I'm like a project manager, basically. So anything you want to know about printing, I could geek out with you in a grocery store about how this box is made, and everyone's gonna think it's the stupidest conversation.
That is a
ever.
really weird place to geek out about printing, man.
Well, actually, Mikey and I, because Mike.
I work at a print shop as well, not the same one that he works at.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I work at a completely different one, fixing print presses and whatnot like that.
Oh, damn.
Keeping them somewhat running. Digital print presses are
Yeah.
finicky.
Print presses are never fully operational. That's the one thing I've always learned.
They're always in a state of repair.
Yeah.
Just like a
State of
car,
repair.
there's always something that needs to be
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
I own a tattoo shop in Linwood called Good Karma Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
And then I
That's
also
awesome.
tattoo there.
Cool.
And that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Constantly.
That'd be kind of weird if you owned it and did a tattoo there.
That exists. There's,
I'm sure it
not
does.
so much up here. Like in California, there are a lot of shops that are owned by people who actually don't tattoo. Which
I just
think
wanted
is
my name on
weird.
the shop, so I bought stock in it, but I don't know anything.
What about tattoo artists that literally don't tattoo at all? That tattoo artists. Sorry, I said that funny. Tattoo artists that don't have any tattoos at all.
That's weird to me.
Is it-
Like
it sounds weird to
there
me.
are a few people like. Not gonna name names. You guys are cool.
We can bleep
But
it
it's
out.
always like, yeah, it's like weird to me when you don't have any or you have like 2. But you know what? Like, I'm not judging. Whatever.
I don't know. I'll judge. Being, I'm not in the industry, so I can.
I just feel like, you should kind of
would-
know what it feels like.
Yeah,
and, like,
I
also
would
your
totally
advertising.
agree.
Like,
Before
everywhere I
stabbing
go,
the shit into
it's like-
somebody.
I mean, I've seen artists who are like really good, like at drawing and painting.
Yeah.
So theoretically, they could be good at tattoos, but I don't trust anybody, a tattoo artist that doesn't have tattoos.
That's never. Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
trusting a skinny chef.
Yeah, you gotta prove
so
it to
the-
me, man.
So
That's
the
a
main-
good one. I like
Nowadays,
it.
I almost don't trust anybody if they don't have a tattoo. It doesn't matter if they're in the
Hey,
industry.
fair enough.
Well, what's the old, like the old saying goes, like you never trust anybody that doesn't have at least one shitty tattoo.
That's true.
Anybody who's got
Yeah.
like all like just amazing
Pristine
tattoo work,
work.
be like, I don't know.
You gotta
That
have
guy's
one
pretty
mistake.
shifty.
Yeah,
Shifty
I
motherfucker.
don't know about you, man.
Yeah.
He didn't get a smiley face tattooed on his butt cheek, so I can't.
Well, it's like anybody who doesn't have some sort of fucking black flag tattoo.
But it's gotta be horrible though.
Oh yeah, it can't be good. Like if it was a
Required.
good
Is
one.
that about
No,
fish
shut
sticks?
Yeah, I mean that's Black Flag. It was a riff on Black Flag.
Yes.
Inside joke, man.
Fish sticks. That's actually a song
Ooh.
that we don't actually
Whoa,
play.
it does look like fish sticks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it says fish sticks. Is it? Okay,
We
but
were
is
gonna
it?
get it with the actual Black Flag font, but that costs an extra like $50. So we're
Oh.
like, nah. It
So
looks like Twinkies.
there's a tattoo we're looking at, and it looks like 4 fish sticks, but it's like the black flag symbol, but then it says fish sticks around the tattoo.
So that was like a fun like tour tattoo in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
That we
2
all
of
got-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That
actually
was before me.
3 of them.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
band.
yeah.
We were gonna do
Paul-
on this tour, but we all got sick right on tour.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst.
Getting tattooed
sick
while
on
sick,
tour.
just-
Oh, and yeah, tattooed while sick.
Yeah.
Not to mention tattoos in Vegas are crazy expensive.
And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
July, which was hot as like 100 degrees everywhere we went.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any animal friends, and if so, what are their names?
I don't, but my roommate does, who I'm in a different band with,
seen
and he
that.
just got. It's about a year, 13, 14 months old. It's a Chihuahua Min Pin mix. And she's adorable, and her name's Xena. Because
Xena Warrior Princess.
Exactly.
She's his warrior princess. Yeah.
That's adorable.
She is really cute.
She's cool.
I have a cat.
Yay.
And by proxy, Mikey has a cat. He lives in
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
he always-
house as
yep.
me.
Yep, super stoked about
His
it.
name is Frankenstein, but we call him Frank. And I just got him tattooed on my arm.
No
being
way.
Held by this little scary baby right here.
That's awesome.
Okay, so it's a clown
He's
holding a
immortalized
cat.
forever.
guess it
That is so awesome.
Yeah, he's my buddy, but he's kind of a dick.
I don't know why you didn't. Why didn't
It's
you
okay,
get a
my dog's a dick.
Frankenstein
Yeah.
holding a cat?
Like you do.
So, what's the most recent release, and are there tour plans in the near future?
The newest release was we put out our first full length ever in the 10 years that we've been a band. We put that out on July 14th.
There was a big eye roll there you didn't see.
For me? Well, yeah, I mean, we've been together for 10 years, and we put out 2 EPs, but this is our first, like, full length.
We recorded 3 technically.
Sure.
But we put out 2.
But this is our first, like, full length that we've actually put out. Put out on July 14th. It's called Songs in the Key of Bummer. Because that's a big thing for us, obviously. Our friends in Tiny Dragon Music helped us put that out. And we toured for that the day after it came out. So July 15th, we went on like a 10-day tour.
Hell yeah.
Down the coast and through Nevada and
Vegas
Spreading
and
the
Reno,
word.
SoCal.
and hopefully after the new year, like, I don't know, in January, we might do like a little like weekend jaunt and then probably do another tour in the summer.
Yeah.
Or late summer. We're not doing July again.
Yeah, we're planning
there's
on
July.
maybe doing a little 4 or 5 day local Northwest thing with a non-Northwest band through Tiny Dragon Music as well. And,
Oh, yeah.
doing at least 1 tour a year, so we'll probably look at another 10-day, maybe go east this time and hit Montana and try and make it to Illinois and Chicago. And
We get out of town a lot, though. I mean,
Yeah.
we play regionally pretty regularly, so we like hit, Oregon and
Within the last year and a half, we have since Kevin joined the band, we've been playing out a lot more.
Oh yeah. What's y'all's favorite tour location or show location that you ever been, and how come? And it can be totally different for each.
That's
and
always a
every
torn
of you.
one for me because it's like, but there's so many good ones, like all over
Well,
the place. All our friends.
I don't know, I'd say out of all of us, I'm probably the least toured, tour experienced. I've only been on like 3 tours. He's been on a bunch. He's been on a fair amount. Kevin's been on a fair amount. Johnny's been on a bunch. He's subbed in on guitar on tour for a bunch of bands. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I don't know. San Diego was really fun.
yeah, San Diego was really fun on this last jaunt that we did. That was killer.
Vegas is always fun for me, oddly enough, even though this time we were sick as dogs.
Oh yeah.
But we had some friends fly down, or a friend of ours flew down out of nowhere and surprised us.
yeah.
So that was
That
cool. Our
was
friend
cool.
Brett from Burn Burn Burn
Oh, yeah, I know
and
Brett.
FCon
Yeah.
flew down without like saying anything to anybody and stuff. So he was there, and that was very
That's
cool.
awesome.
That was
That's just like,
awesome.
oh,
Yeah.
listen, what up?
So
I like playing in the Bay Area a lot.
yeah, Oakland's
usually
dope.
Fun.
Bay Area is definitely one of my favorite regions to play.
Yeah.
I'd say one of my favorite venues.
Well, you're from there.
Yeah, well,
that's biased.
It cheats a little bit for me. A little bit of going home for me when I go to there. But I'd say one of my favorite venues of all time is in Medford. It's the Pirate Punk's house.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep. Gabe and Laura.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Totally.
sweethearts. They take
Shout
care
out
of
to
us.
Gabe and
They're
Laura.
really
Yeah.
awesome, and they got like a ridiculously cool house too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the local support from bands and the people in the scene is really
Yeah.
cool. And it's the fact that it's one of the only all age places really to
Yeah.
do shows around the area. Medford and Ashland is the more
Yeah.
all age shows you can do, the better. Because
Yeah, I mean, that was my first time playing there, and it was amazing. We got there super late because we had van troubles, but
yeah,
they were super sweet to us. They had vegan food for us and stuff like that. 'Cause we got vegan, vegetarian guys in the band, so they
Yeah.
they were
It's like
cool.
the one
That
time in my
place was
life
really
I got to
dope.
sleep in a bunk bed as an adult because I got bunk beds.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That show was super fun. That was like the best way to end the tour. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like the kids just went off.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
They were
was
super
cool.
cool.
That was probably one of the best like audience reactions we got to our cover song.
Yeah, that was super fun.
What cover song did you do?
Oh God, do I have
Mikey?
to? No, I don't want to. I don't
Not a
want to.
fan of it.
You can't make me.
We can bleep it out.
It's Lit, My Own Worst Enemy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It gets a really like positive reaction whether people absolutely hate it
Yeah.
or like are really into it, but it's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like, plus it
That's
just
fun.
seems weird that we're playing it.
That's so fun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's one of my favorites. What's the craziest thing that's happened on on tour, shows in general? It doesn't really have to be on tour. What's the most outlandish thing that's happened, good or bad? Doesn't matter.
I'll let one of you guys go first. I gotta think about that.
Outlandish things.
Hilarious, not funny
Filmed
at
on
all.
Montana.
The first tour I ever went on out in Montana was pretty fucking. I mean, not crazy, but it was just. I've never been to an after party like that before in
Yeah.
my life. And I don't know. You've been to Montana?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
They're out in
go hard.
Missoula, Butte area and stuff like that.
Yep.
They like their whiskey. We had a friend out there who booked us a show, and like we went out there, and the after party and involved like him like bringing like 5 bottles of whiskey back to the hotel where they already had bottles of whiskey already
Yep.
and stuff, and that just proceeded to like go until the wee hours of the morning. But we had to talk down one of the roommates in from getting in his car to go with his gun
Oh my god.
to go out because he was goddamn it. He was gonna go out shooting because he was upset and he
Oh
was
my
gonna go
God,
out
yeah.
shooting at post signs and stuff like that. And so we had to like talk him down. And
Yeah.
then at the end of the whole night, it was whole reason he was upset, and it was because his bass player in his band wanted to leave the party early. He was super upset about it. But yeah, having to like talk somebody down from like, and the weird negotiation that happened. I was like, can't let you leave the house, man. Can't let you leave. It was like, if you're gonna go out of the house, we'll let you leave. We'll let you leave, but you got to leave the bullets here. Nope, can't leave the bullets here. I got to take at least 5. Like why? Like, it was like, no, you can't take. It was like I need 5, man. I can't shoot a smiley face in a stop sign without 5 bullets. I need 5.
Need 5 fucking bullets.
Yeah, that was a weird one
Yeah.
for me. Like, I mean, it was fun up until that point, and then it became fun again. But
I pushed
never
out,
had to.
like,
Never
left
had
early
to.
and
Yeah.
didn't see any of that.
Never had to like negotiate with somebody about like leaving their gun home, and they're
Yeah.
like, please, if you're going to get in your car, which I would not advise right now, please don't get in it with your gun. like, why don't you just stay here at the
Just
party?
adding on top of it, like, ugh.
Eventually, though, we got him to just stay at the party.
It sounded like he was gunning for it.
Oh.
Can
I
you
think-
tell any of those?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't want to like. Well, okay. So I was on tour with a band in Spokane, and we were playing a show.
Yeah.
And it was with a band, that is doing pretty well, and we were like supporting them. And on the tour, the lead singer's brother came with us to like work as a roadie and to drive the van and stuff.
Band from Wyoming.
Yeah, and we were in Spokane and we were back in the green room, and this dude that was driving for us, like, he's a nice guy, but he definitely, like, for lack of a better way to put it, probably should be on some medication most of the time. Like, he was a little edgy, and so for some reason, him and our drummer got into like a little bit of an argument. And this dude that was like working for us, he's like 6'6", 6'7", 300 something pounds. He's a huge dude. And our drummer, I think, is like 5'9", 5'10", just smaller guy, whatever. And just out of nowhere, we're all in the back in this green room.
Smaller guy.
And the dude that was roading for us, he just swings on him. First punch knocks all the front teeth out for our drummer for no reason. Like, they were arguing over something really dumb. I don't even remember what it was.
It
Knocked all his teeth out. he fell back. They get into a huge fight, giant fucking deal.
Yeah.
And all the other bands are watching this happen. This is before the show started, and everybody's like,
gosh.
"What the fuck?" Anyways, long story short, our drummer had to go to the hospital and get his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
And then that dude got arrested. Our tour was over pretty much, but the singer didn't want to cancel the show, so we ended up. I played drums, and then which is like okay. I mean, I can kind of play, not really. And then the bass player and the guitar player like played too, but we just did like 5 songs just to like finish. But I mean, I've seen some crazy shit, but that was nuts.
That was,
Damn.
That was a band that he was. That was another like band that he was playing guitar in at the time.
Yeah.
But that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think it's a toss-up between a couple different ones, but I think one of the craziest ones for me was last year with my other band. I started helping out with booking, and we'd always wanted to play Canada, so I was like, I'm just going to hit up a random show and see if we can play. Here's one with 2 bands, and let's ask if we can open. And they're like, yeah, totally. And we didn't know we were basically opening for the Canadian version of the Addicts, who play a couple times a year, sell it out, and it's a crazy show.
Oh my god, yeah.
We didn't know any of this band, and I had a panic attack the night before we left, out of nowhere, and I've never had a panic attack in my life. And I have some personal heart stuff, and so I went into arrhythmia.
Oh no.
And it was either decide to go to Canada or cancel and hope it goes away. And after talking with my doctor, I was like, all right, I'm going to risk it. I don't want to just stay home. And our guitarist was on crutches at the time because she had broken or tore her meniscus. So, and she was risking it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to feel like a jackass if I don't go. So we go, we drive to the show. My heart's like all out of rhythm the whole time. And then we get there and they ask if we can close the show.
Oh my
and we
god.
don't know what we're getting into, so we're like, yeah, sure, why not? They're like, show sold out. We're going to pay you out before the first band even goes on. Do you mind going on after us? Our singer has to fly to Ontario the next morning. And this is a band that plays like 6 times a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And so we're like, yeah, whatever, sure. And then we watch their hour set, and they've got like people in costume. It's like an 8-piece polka punk like
What?
band. Like it's a mix of like Celtic and polka and punk and just high energy, and it's like 7-8 piece. People come in costumes in the audience. They get crowd surfed from the stage to the door and then back up to the stage. Like
gosh.
fog machines, announcers, like
Oh damn.
and we just watch it, and there's a fog machine going on, and my heart's just going out of rhythm, and we're like, fuck me.
Yeah.
We gotta follow this.
Oh man.
Oh man.
And so we follow it. Of course, like 75% of the crowd left. I mean, it was like
Big chunk leaves.
it was maybe like a 300-400 cap room, and we had like 40 people, which is whatever. It's our first show in Canada, so it was a blast. And I was like choking on smoke the whole time while my heart's going out of rhythm and playing drums as well. And ended up talking to this cute girl outside, and I'm single at the time and in my head about weird shit. And by the time, sometime between that morning and 4 a.m. when we went to the hospital, or back to the hotel room, not to the hospital, luckily, which was not out of the realm of questions. Time we got back to the hotel, getting the equivalent of Arby's. I don't remember where we got. It was some Canadian chain at 3 a.m. for food, and checking my my heart rate monitor. Somehow I reset.
Oh, no shit.
So playing drums and playing a show helped reset my heart somehow.
Damn.
Which is
I would think that kind of stress would be like, that's not gonna help.
just physical distraction.
So that was in Canada?
That was in Canada, yeah.
As soon as you said that just reminded me of like one of Johnny's older bands. Like your experience in Canada.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but that would have made for a horrible show.
It was a terrible show.
His old band, his like early band, like early 2000s.
Are we talking about the rockabilly stuff?
No.
I'll just say we were called the Moonshine Incident. So right off the bat, awesome. And we booked some shows up in Canada, in Vancouver, in Gastown, and we went up there, and we're playing, and I can best describe our music as basically really bad grunge. I don't really know how to describe it, but it was terrible.
Kurt Cobain without the Kurt.
It was just, yeah. It just, hey, and I love those guys, and I love you, Ian. Anyways,
A little save right
If you're
there.
listening to this.
yeah. So we're playing that show to a Canadian crowd that doesn't really care that we're playing anyways, but they're at least kind of like into it. And then our singer just starts making fun of Canadians in between songs.
Oh.
Yeah, starts saying shit about like, what's up with your, like, it was like a bad like Jerry Seinfeld,
And they didn't like
what's
it,
the
I'm
deal
sure.
with your money kind of a deal. And like, but it just kept getting worse and like making fun of the way they talk, and then people just started throwing things at us. It was horrible. And I remember just sitting there being like, yeah, okay, this is cool, you know, like
Oh, yep.
that's the one
We
and only
deserve
time
this.
I've had things thrown at me.
Damn.
But yeah, it was cool.
Needless to say.
Yeah, I think that's one of the golden rules is don't talk shit about the audience that you're playing to.
No, I mean, you know, if you do it right, I guess people will be like, yeah,
Maybe
that's
they'll think
cool,
it's
but
funny,
This
but-
was not done correctly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like TSOL, maybe.
Yeah,
I've
right?
seen those guys
Yeah.
pull it off.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Okay, y'all got any weird paranormal stories, like any ghost encounters or alien stories, or
Conspiracy.
even just
I'm just gonna point
conspiracy
at Donnie.
theories?
Just because I'm into that.
Yeah, because you're the conspiracy theorist.
Well, you've got ghost, well, kind of ghost hunting a lot. There was a house that I lived in Lake City. Johnny can
this
Johnny
is
can
a
kind of
true
verify
story.
this, I guess. But I mean, it's not like any one particular story. But that house that I lived in Lake City, it was on like 123rd, right behind Starbucks and right by Dick's or whatever. But the house I lived in there was for sure haunted. I don't really know
yeah.
if I guess I believe in ghosts after living there, where it's like nothing like bad or malicious happened, but you would definitely hear like pounding on stuff.
Oh, weird.
My friend that I lived with, I lived in the basement, and her, at the time, 5 or 6 year old kid lived in the upstairs room. The only thing upstairs was like a bedroom up there, and she had split custody with the kid's dad, and whenever he was gone, that's when we'd start hearing shit like all the time, just like
what the fuck?
thump 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 thump.
Oh my god!
And there was like,
Fuck that shit.
the only like other than like that, the only like weird experience I had, both of them were gone for like a weekend or something. They went out of town back home to Montana to visit family, and so I was at home just watching TV by myself, and I can kind of hear something, but I'm watching TV, so I'm not really catching, like I'm not really noticing it until like a commercial comes on and the volume kind of drops down. I just start hearing it like la 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 from upstairs, and I was like, and it's like his
Oh, hell no.
it's like his SpongeBob like
Oh,
doll
yeah,
that he has,
yeah,
because
one of
he's
those
really
toys.
into SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, mute the TV. I'm just kind of like, what the hell was that and stuff. And then it's like, and he starts singing. It starts up again. Starts singing a song. It's like, okay, really weird. And then it stops. It's like, now you try. I'm like, oh hell no.
Fuck
And I'm like, and so I was like, it stops for a second, and so I start like getting up from the couch. I'm like walking towards there because I was gonna like, maybe it's like, he left the doll on or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like batteries are dying. I'm gonna go up there, just take the batteries out of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get to like the bottom step, it was like, now you try. So I'm like, fuck this. And then nope, back on the couch. I was like, I'm just turning the volume up on this TV. No. And then of course, like I mentioned it to my roommate like weeks later when they get back with me. I was like, oh, because it was an ongoing like thing with it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the fucking ghost in the house, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Not happy. And so and I was like, oh my god, by the way, creepiest thing happened while you guys were out of town. That fucking doll, like he has a doll, right? And he was like, well, he's got like an alarm clock thing. I was like, oh, okay, that makes perfect
That's
sense.
what it was,
It was
yeah.
an alarm. Gah, okay, that's it. It was like, well, no, it couldn't have been that because that thing hasn't been plugged in forever.
Oh my
and
gosh!
It doesn't have any batteries in it because we took the batteries out of it because of a
What the-
previous experience when our friend Hillary was staying the night over there. I took the batteries out of it, and it hasn't been plugged in forever. It's actually like in his like closet. I was like,
That's so
I
creepy.
was like, see, I could have just been fine with it just being like a weird thing that I happened. Now you had to tell me all that.
Yeah, now it's even weirder than it was before. Like,
You could have just
even
said,
worse.
"Oh, that was an alarm clock.
Yeah.
No worries. It was
Yeah.
just the alarm." No,
Well, and that's like-
now you had to make it 10 times worse.
That's pretty loud if you're like downstairs, not
Yeah.
anywhere near that room, and you can hear that shit with the TV going.
Yeah.
Like
it's
that thing
intense,
wanted
dude.
you to know. What's up?
yo, I'm here.
So,
What the
and
alarm
that's the
clock
thing,
wanted
man.
you to try.
Yeah.
Well, it was like it would sing a song and they'd be like, "Now you try." It was weird.
Yeah.
But like everybody would like we would tell everybody like pretty low key, but like, "Oh yeah, our house is haunted. We got a ghost." And
Yeah.
we're like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Pfft. And then people would stay over at our house and wake up the next morning and be like, "Dude, your house is fucked up." It's like I'm telling man, we're not like
It had weird vibes.
We're not
It had
we're
weird
not
vibes.
like bragging like, "Oh, we have a haunted house." It was like they're just saying like, "Oh yeah, man, there's something up there. We don't fuck with it."
Did somebody
yeah.
play with a Ouija board at your house or something?
No, man, my roommate would never. That was something I never wanted to try because I'm like, I don't even want to fucking know. But like
I ain't fucking with it.
the last day before I moved out, like before she left the house, because then she ended up buying a house somewhere. But like the last day that they were there, she was like, her boyfriend who had moved in after I left and moved into a different place. She was like, "Babe, we should do some EVP recordings on the last couple of nights we're here." And he's like, "Nope." Nope.
I'm good.
Not
Like-
doing that.
Like Johnny didn't believe me that we thought we had a ghost there, and he crashed there one night, and he was a believer after that.
Yeah,
fuck
it had
this.
creepy vibes.
Damn.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
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 But the weird thing was, I slept in the basement. Never felt weird down there at all. Never bothered in the basement. It was always upstairs.
Concrete walls.
Keeps ghosts out.
Keeps
Apparently.
goes out, yeah.
Apparently.
Little known fact.
Can it keep ghosts
Stabilizes
in?
your
That's my
environment.
question.
Anti-demon.
Like the concrete, can it keep ghosts in? That's my question. Does it
I don't want to
trap
try
some
and find
ghosts?
out. You guys got any weird stuff?
Probably got weirder stuff than I did.
I mean, there's stuff for sure. There's definitely been some weird things.
Lights in the sky and shit?
Man, I wish. Like, I'm
I've
really
seen
into
some weird
UFO
fucking
stuff.
shit in the skies, like lights and stuff before.
Yeah,
I've
I
had
mean,
some things that were like definitely like, did I just fucking see that?
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
like
that's
weird,
happened.
like
Oh, man.
green, like flashes.
Yeah.
I was like, did I just?
No,
Nah,
what I
that
saw
couldn't have
was
been.
like fucking like, what the fuck is that? I stared at it and I looked around at my friends. I was like, you guys, and they're all like, yeah, what the? We all stared at it for like a good 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a spacecraft though. It was completely different. And it was like, that's not supposed to be there. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, every time it's happened to me though, it's either been like when we've all been like drinking. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
You're
well,
did it happen?
maybe.
I was like, okay. I mean, we all saw that, right? I was like, you saw like hovering lights and doing that little pattern thing, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah. We're like, okay, well, but we're drunk, so nobody's gonna believe this.
Yeah, but you don't hallucinate when you're drunk, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess if you get
Unless
drunk,
you're
enough,
drinking the right
you
thing.
Could, yeah, you could. I guess
That's true.
if you're
Yeah.
drinking the right thing.
Yeah, UFO stuff. I wish. There's only been one time where I was driving on the coast, kind of near where Nehalem is, in Oregon, on the Oregon coast, like going around the corner there, and there's kind of an inlet from the ocean. And I remember it was with my ex, and we were driving, and there were no lights except for the stars in the sky, and you could see like in the distance because of the moon that there were like boats in the like the mooring, like the dock right there. And then like right above it was this red light that was like hovering, and I remember like her being like, "What is that?" And I looked over and I was like, "Huh." Like
Yeah.
stared at it for a minute.
What is that?
And then we were like really trying to like break it down, you know, or whatever, like piece it together in our heads, but like could not explain it. And I remember being like that moment where I was like, we should probably like stop somewhere and get something to eat or something. So like we sped out of there and like went to the nearest town and like went to Safeway, and like it was kind of creepy. It was definitely like weird. That's the closest thing UFO wise that I've seen.
Damn.
But I'm
I mean,
definitely into that stuff.
That's I don't know. Next time we go on tour, that's something I definitely want to do though. Like
this
we
last tour
totally had missed opportunities
yeah.
because we were in some places that had some pretty. We stopped somewhere between.
Eugene
Vegas,
and Carson
we-
City.
Yeah, Eugene, Carson City, called Mitzpah. Like that was the town, right? Or no, it was the Mitzpah
Are you talking
Hotel.
about the one with the clown hotel?
Well, not the clown one.
Oh,
Well, that's
what
in the
the
same
fuck?
area. No, where we
Yeah.
stopped to grab lunch, dinner, or breakfast that one day after like not
Sleeping
dri-
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
that was
it was in
Reno to
between Vegas
Yeah.
and Reno. It was someplace called the Mitzpah Hotel, and it was an old mining town.
Yeah.
And that's not far from where the Clown Motel is.
It's the same town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to dude, I would love to ghost hunt in that hotel, man.
Yeah,
You
that
know
place-
that thing's got some
Yeah,
shit.
it's supposed to be the
Yeah.
#1 voted most haunted hotel in the
Oh
country.
shit.
Michelle and I stayed in a hotel in San Francisco that supposedly is one of the more haunted places, and we stayed in the room right next to the room that is like in The Shining,
Has
like
the
it's
most-
like the
yeah,
worst room.
yeah.
And nothing happened in that room, and honestly, I usually can get like a vibe if something feels off,
I know that. Yeah.
But I definitely wasn't feeling that. But I will say that night I had one of the worst nightmares I've ever had.
Oh, damn.
And it was super scary. And so I will say that was a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I
Damn.
like ghost hunting.
yeah.
Shit. That's fun.
That's definitely something for next tour, though, man. I'm definitely looking up some
Yeah.
places where
I
we're
mean-
going because we were in fucking Long Beach and we didn't go to the Queen Mary, man.
But we
Yeah.
did stop at the Area 51 brothel.
I heard it's
Yes.
a brothel.
Which I didn't even realize was real.
Neither did I. No, we drove by. We're like, okay, we're waking everyone up. We gotta stop here.
Yeah, that place was funny. It's just like it's a little tourist attraction, and so they have like a little convenience store that just sells like a bunch of alien stuff.
all it
and
is.
everything.
Yeah,
I was very
Yep.
disappointed.
And then-
Yeah.
And then connected to it is a brothel, I guess. I don't know, it's
Yeah.
weird. But
Brothel looked pretty closed to me.
yeah. But yeah.
This is my favorite one. All right. 30-second shout out to all your favorite bands. Go.
Individually or just all together?
All y'all together.
Old Doris.
Old Doris, Burn,
Burn, Burn,
F-Con, My Life in
F-Con.
Black and White,
Generation Decline.
Generation Decline, Foxhole Norman, rest in peace.
Foxhole Norman. the Hollow Points. rest
Hollow
in
Points,
peace.
rest in
Actually, I don't
peace.
know if they might still be playing.
Throw.
Throw, New
Old
Portland,
Cross.
Old
Drowns.
Cross,
10.
Lucky Egypts,
Lucky Egypts.
Wasted Breath.
Western Settings.
Wasted Breath. Western Settings.
2. 1. You guys nailed it.
That was
though. It's a
really
lot of
good.
bands.
Snaps for you guys.
Oh, Ando. He's not in the
Ando,
band, but
Yeah, right,
Ando.
Wenatchee.
You got the Ando.
Yeah, Ando
Ando
Wenatchee.
Wenatchee.
Just because he's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was a fair amount of band. Sometimes people freeze up, and I understand that part because I'm like, I have so many friends. Like, there's so much.
Did we say
I have a
Mabel's Marbles?
good.
band city
Mabel's
list.
Marbles.
I
Shit.
just pulled
Marbles.
that up and called it out.
We miss Mabel's
Street
Marbles.
Jail.
Mabel's Marbles.
Yeah. All the Tiny Dragon
Sorry,
music
another 30
fans.
seconds.
That was outside 30 seconds. You have penalties.
Big shout out to all the Tiny Dragon music fan.
Where can people go to find your music?
Anywhere you can stream or download music. You
Yeah.
can go to Spotify, Kids on Fire at Spotify, Bandcamp.
We're on Pandora now. I just got that set up recently.
Pandora.
Anywhere you can buy it. Apple Store, iTunes
iTunes.
Music,
iTunes.
Google Music. We're also
Amazon.
the main place to download the record is a Tiny Dragon Music Bandcamp. Our record's on there. If you go to our personal page, you can do that too. It's just going to relink you back to that one.
So basically, if you can't find y'all's music, then you don't know how to internet.
You tape in
Yes.
Kids on Fire
I agree with
anywhere
that.
in Seattle.
Yes.
And you'll
Yeah.
get
And
our
you guys
stuff.
probably have physical merchandise and stuff
Yes.
too, right?
We do,
Yes.
yeah, we have that.
We got
I set that up
CDs.
so you can actually buy it now online.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah.
We may or may not be doing vinyl here soon. That won't be out.
We're looking into that.
looking
Yeah,
into
so-
it, but that wouldn't be till next year, early next year.
Vinyl's so
that'd be-
fucking
That
expensive.
shit's costly.
Yeah.
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 That's
it'd be
what we're
have
trying to
it,
tell you listeners right now is make sure to buy that stuff because it is not cheap.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got some
Make.
7 inches right now that are
Sweet.
really awesome Northwest split.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
7
yeah.
inches are dope.
Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
we do have the one vinyl.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Kevin mentioned. It's split. Tiny Dragon Music. It's us. Burn,
Rat City Ruckus.
Rat City Ruckus, and 10 Pole Drunk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Those are all really good bands.
Then they also put out a second compilation, which has I believe it has Choke the Pope, Old Doris, Ramona, and
FCON.
I can't remember. It was, shit, I'm a terrible person. I can't remember.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah, there's so the compilations Pacific Northwest Music, whatever, Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Sweet. Hell yeah. All right, so what's the most important thing that you think people should hear? Like, it could be a message, it could be music, like something that is important to you guys. You think people should hear anything just in general?
I feel like I just said something the other day, and I'm totally brain farting on it right now.
Inspiring quotes or something. Like,
Oh man.
I always make it simple and say, "Don't be an asshole."
Don't be an asshole. Yeah, I mean, there's the golden rule.
There's the golden rule.
Don't be an asshole for no reason. Don't go out and commit murder. You know, self-defense is a totally different
God,
thing.
that
Unless they deserve
escalated
it.
quickly.
You know,
Well, it's true. I mean, don't go commit murder.
Yeah, don't do
Hey,
that.
if you get fucked up and drink, don't drive. That's a thing.
That's a big one.
I see a lot lately, and maybe it's, you know, you see it more because social media is makes everyone so much more visible than, you know, growing up, I didn't really have social media, so you know, any close friends or close family who had issues, that was, you know, it was just their issue. You didn't realize other people have it. So I see a lot of good friends, a lot of people in my life, and a lot just people in general. You know, a lot of people are sad. A lot of people deal with depression. They go through breakups. They have anxiety. They have, you know, chronic imbalances in their brain, whatever it may be, and I see a lot of people feel bad for feeling that way. And I think one of the things that comes up most is it's okay to be sad.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
I agree with
I fully
that.
agree.
100%.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess my main thing is like, it's not like I'm messing because I'm not good with messages, but like just listen to your gut, man, because like 99% of the time your gut's gonna steer you in the right direction, and to not ignore that.
Got instincts for a reason.
Yeah. You know, don't ignore them just because of outside pressures or whatever. But you know, you feel like strongly about one way, go with that. If you're not feeling a certain way, don't force yourself into it. Same time, don't be afraid to like ask for outside perspectives, you know. But yeah, I don't know, just follow your gut, man. It won't, most of the time it won't steer you wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know, you guys smell my gut.
I think a big thing right now, I think particularly just in the world in general, I feel like there's just a lot of anger and a lot of hate going around, and I think especially like in the little scene that we're in and stuff, like I think it's important to just kind of look out for each other. When people are out of line, you know, when you see things that are fucking wrong, say something about it, you know, like stop that shit in its tracks. That's really important. And you know, we're a family. I feel like, you know, everybody that, you know, I hate using the word scene, but you know, we all make music together and make art together, and you know, we're a family and we should be there for each other. And I think that's important, especially nowadays. So
that was beautiful. Aw, you guys are awesome.
And don't be afraid to practice a little bit of patience, everyone. Don't jump to conclusions on shit, man. Like patience with yourself, patience with everybody.
At the end of the podcast, we're gonna play 2 of y'all's songs if you'd like. What 2 songs would you like us to play?
Well, I think Rain City Forever would be a great one.
That's a pretty good one.
I like that one.
And any closing track?
I feel like the one we close a lot of our sets with is a really good track too.
Yeah, so
and it's my favorite song title of the whole album.
Yeah, it's the best
So
song.
I'd say Rain City Forever is a good one to listen to. It's pretty anthemic. Anthemic? Is that right?
Anthem-like.
Anthem-ish. I don't know the right pronunciation of that. And the other one would be the closing track on the album called That One Brief Moment Where Everything Didn't Totally Suck.
Aw, that's a cool title.
we made a point we had to write one positive song on an album full of bummer music.
That's way too many words for our set list though, so we just call it pausing.
Just call it pausing.
Well, for that whole bummer vibe, y'all are not bumming me out right now.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, Kids on Fire on the Ragged Bones podcast. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Thank you.
man.
Yeah. thanks so much for tuning in. If you'd like to seek out or support any of the artists we've hosted today, we've attached links to this episode.
We're pretty darn hardworking artists ourselves, so if you'd like to show us some love and support, you can find us through our music, Robbers Roost.
Hey, check out our Patreon. It's probably the best way to support us. Also, check us out on social media because we plan to release these every Tuesday. Spill the beans, Ren.
Search for Robbers Roost, podcast or band on any platform. We got merch, tour dates, and all the fun stuff.
Ragged Bones from Broken Homes. This has been another episode with Mark.
And Renegade.
Stay tuned, folks.
Is that a musician joke?